Okay, hello, this is my audience members. My sister, my dad, my brother, my mom.
Sister.
Thank you so much. All right. So, have you ever thought about how often it is you see someone on the side of the road, maybe without a home, no family, and not enough food to get by? The total homeless population has severely increased in recent years, and the number of college students and adults alike don't have housing securities, and this has increased as well. This lack of housing security leads to food insecurity and the possibility of leading to exploitation, and it severely affecting their education. The building of permanent housing for homeless individuals should be prioritized because it could be extremely beneficial to communities and those desperately in need. So let's discuss the root of the problem: the shortage of homeless shelters across the world. Homelessness has worsened in recent years, ranging from young public school students to adults and families. According to the global statistics, 23 out of 10,000 Americans experience homelessness, and there are approximately 318 million people who are homeless worldwide, and a large percentage of that population consists of today's youth. The Bipartisan Policy Organization states that in 2020, the Hope Center for College Community and Justice conducted a survey of more than 190,000 students, and according to the organization, 58% recorded them experiencing some form of basic needs, food, and housing security. Adults and young adults without housing can potentially suffer violence, severe health impacts, substance abuse, and deterioration of mental health disorders. Many experience an array of personal challenges, such as depression, anxiety, and trauma. The instability of non-permanent housing can lead to conditions such as these deteriorating, as well as influencing one's health by an enormous proportion. Not having a stable environment leads to higher dropout rates, not to mention young adults that are at risk of unsafe living, as well as exploitation. Not having a permanent form of housing is a significant problem that affects thousands of people across the country. Now that we have discussed the problem, I'd like to inform you all of the main causes of this issue. The main reason why there are not enough housing for many homeless people is due to the dangerous conditions, the inability to afford homes, and the increase in the number of homeless individuals. Many unhoused individuals and families avoid homeless shelters because of the dangerous living conditions and the fear of theft, as well as the lack of privacy. The True Nation Project states that many or all shelters are at full capacity every night, and that 40% of unsheltered individuals say they avoid shelters due to the lack of privacy. On top of hesitancy to live in homeless shelters, housing has become extremely difficult to find, and having a job is often not enough. According to the United States Interagency Council on Homelessness, as many as 40 to 60% of people experiencing homelessness have a job, but housing is unaffordable because of wages not being able to keep up with rising rents. When a job that pays minimum wage requires the average person to work 86 hours weekly to afford a single bedroom, it makes it nearly impossible to find a decent, affordable place to live. For multiple decades, the U.S. federal government, through the Department of Housing and Urban Development, on homelessness has been the country's primary responder to homelessness. However, all the progress that has been made is still not enough. America has more than doubled its supply of permanent housing since 2013, but the unhoused population continues to increase. So many people remain unhoused due to the unsafe living conditions and inability to afford a home. So, what can we do to help? By investing in permanent housing for unsheltered individuals, the government can address the lack of affordable housing. Instead of having to seek out the unease that shelters bring, finding more permanent living situations would be more beneficial entirely. Additionally, the states can help this problem by integrating temporary shelters and focusing on developing affordable, more permanent housing options. This will provide a safer place for many and later provide longer-lasting homes. By repurposing spaces such as community shelters and utilizing churches to their fullest extent, these places can help to provide shelter, clothing, and food to those who are in need. By searching for shelters, by using online resources, we can filter supported services based on the zip code of the region you live in. And by donating to local shelters, it can be so helpful, and everything counts. So, let's recap. Today, we have discussed the shortage of homeless shelters across the world, how it takes an immense toll on one's health and well-being. We discussed the causes, the conditions of shelters, and how difficult homes are to afford, as well as the surplus of individuals who are without a home. And lastly, we discussed how it is we can help by investing in permanent housing for those in need and donating when it counts. I hope that you may have a similar intent as mine to help better our community and help by donating when possible. Thank you.
Nice.